First joining me now, former Prime Minister Tony Abbott. Tony Abbott, welcome to the program. Great to have you on the show. I want to get in, obviously, to a whole lot of foreign issues predominantly, but I want to start with Islamic State. You dealt with them when you were the PM, so that you're the best person in the country to tell us whether or not we should be concerned about the return of these women. I hate the term ISIS brides. You and I both know around the world many of these women were combatants. There's children now involved. We're not sure if they're Australian. I think the law's pretty grey. The PM has denied that Australia is assisting with the return, but New South Wales Police have said that planning is underway. Tell us your concerns.
Well, Peter, thanks for having me. Obviously, these people who left Australia to join Islamic State, a gruesome, barbarous terrorist group, have effectively rejected our country, its values and our citizenship, and I don't believe they have any moral right to come back. Now, plainly, the Prime Minister is being cute with the truth here. He's trying to say that it's not the Australian government bringing them back, but obviously the Australian government is making preparations to have them back, because otherwise there would not be the talks that we were told about today between the Australian Federal Police and New South Wales Police to receive these people.
If you were back in the Prime Minister's chair, what would you do?
They wouldn't be coming back. People who have rejected our country and its values have effectively surrendered their citizenship. And I think you might have made this suggestion last night, Peter. If the opposition wants to do something constructive in this situation, it could well bring into Parliament private members' legislation to strip Australian citizenship and to strip the right of residency from anyone who leaves this country to join a declared terrorist organisation such as Islamic State.
See, a lot of the media have been running around saying we have to take them back because these children are Australians, the children did nothing wrong. They're not Australians. We don't have citizenship by descent in the way that some countries do we? And of course, they've been out of the country, many of them, for a decade or more. They could be young or young adults or late teenagers. God knows how they have been radicalised, because we haven't got officials on the ground, have we?
Exactly right, exactly right. Look, people should only be coming into our country if it serves Australia's national interest. And I don't see how it can possibly serve Australia's national interest to bring into this country people who have demonstrated by their life, by their action, that they completely reject Australian values, and when there's not the slightest bit of hard evidence that they've recanted any of the apocalyptic Islamist beliefs that took them to join this murderous death cult in the first place.
I'll get to Daniel Andrews in a minute. I want to get a specific comment from you about the foreign register of influence. But broadly, step back. The scale of that parade, the hardware on display, the commentary from Xi, this was less about China's honouring of the Second World War victory. Not that it was their victory, and I'm sure you'll say that, but more about the message they're trying to send to the rest of the world, wasn't it?
Correct. This parade is not about the past, it's about the present and the future. It's an attempt by the Chinese communist regime to intimidate the wider world. And let's make no mistake, Peter, a communist China is set on global domination. And a world dominated by China will resemble China. It'll be a much different and much harsher world than the world we've enjoyed for the last 70 years, which has been dominated by the United States. Now, whatever the United States' faults, it's a free and democratic society, and that's why under the long Pax Americana, the whole world has got better. That certainly won't be the case. if we ever have a Chinese-dominated world.
I had a look at the Register of Foreign Interests. I know that you're on it when you were doing free work for the UK government on trade. I was surprised to see Daniel Andrews, who reportedly is making millions out of the China relationship. He's not on the register. Does that strike you as bizarre?
Well, I really wonder what's the point of this register if it doesn't capture people of significance and influence who are effectively working for our challengers and competitors. And if Australia does have a strategic competitor right now, the biggest and the most serious is undeniably the People's Republic of China.
John Howard has issued a joint statement with former Foreign Minister Alexander Downer, accusing Labor of betraying international law, pushing for a Palestinian state to be recognised at the UN in the next few weeks. I mean, give me your take on that, Tony.
Well, plainly, John Howard and Alexander Downer would only have issued this statement if they thought the situation was very serious. Equally plainly, under the current government, Australia is quite drastically changing the position that we have historically had under both coalition and Labor governments. It was Bob Hawke, after all, who said if the bell tolls for Israel, it doesn't just toll for Israel, it tolls for all mankind. It was Bob Hawke who was a very staunch supporter of the US alliance. Under the current Labor government, we're essentially adopting a position of neutrality between China and the United States, or that's certainly how it looks right now. And we're certainly tilting very much towards Palestine and against the only liberal democracy in the Middle East. I think people need to be aware of just how much our global stance is changing, and changing, I think, for the worse under this current government.
I'll come back and talk to you next week, I think, about the flag and these freedom rallies, because I don't think they're going away. And I'm pleased to see behind you on the shelf you've got an Aussie flag and just one flag. But I'll leave it there, Tony Abbott. Thank you.